Here's a question. Is Conqueror's Haki ruining other people's chances of like winning? And the only reason why I ask that is because it seems like in the beginning of the new world, like when the Straw Hats entered the new world, everything was like about Haki. You know what I mean? Like you had to know Haki. It's like it came to the point where it's like, yeah, you're gonna fight stronger people now, so you gotta know Haki. But then we made it to Wano. Now it's about knowing Conqueror's Haki. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, first it was just Haki, and then like it's an advanced version of Haki, and now it's more so like Conqueror's Haki now. And the only reason why I asked that is because in chapter 1152 of One Piece, Gabon was speaking to Luffy, and he was talking about how making a mental note that the Holy Knights are not immortal. Just make sure you're paying attention on how you're using your Conqueror's Haki. You get what I'm saying? So I just wonder, is Conqueror's Haki like now the thing to fight top tiers? Is Conqueror's Haki the end all be all right now? You know what I mean? I remember back then with the pre-time skip. Okay, of course Luffy wasn't fighting. I wouldn't say they weren't strong people. The enemies he fought in like the East Blue, they weren't strong people. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I am saying though is like Haki wasn't a major thing in the pre-time skip era. Okay, so let's talk about it a bit. First of all, let's just talk about the East Blue villains. Luffy fought against Don Krieg, Captain Curry. He fought against Buggy. He fought against Arlong as well. He fought against all these guys, and he didn't have Haki at that time. But then, when he fought Crocodile, one of the 7 warlords of the sea, he didn't have Haki too. But he didn't need Haki as long as he knew what Crocodile's weakness was. And what was his weakness to sand? Water. Although he had the sand fruit, in order to defeat a Logier user, you needed Haki. But Luffy was able to make it work. Although Luffy did not know what Haki was, he was able to make it work. When he ran into Smoker in Logtown, if it wasn't for Dragon interfering, Luffy would have been captured right now. Because how would have what were the chances of them beating Smoker? Luffy beating Smoker at all? He had no Haki. You know, there's like other things where it's like, okay, for example, Eneru was a Logia, but guess what? Luffy had no Haki, and he beat Eneru. But it's only because Luffy was rubber, and good way to like, you know, fight against electricity, lightning, whatever the case may be, is rubber. So I'm bringing this point though, it's because I think about this a lot, where it's like, will Haki interrupt the flow of the series entirely? Let's think about it like this. Now, we're in Wano Kuni. Kaido, being an ancient giant, I believe he's an ancient giant. I believe he's an Oni, an ancient giant mixed with something else. But although it wasn't confirmed, but it's just a speculation that all of us One Piece fans has, right? So think about it like this. Kaido, although Luffy has Gear 4th, Luffy has armament Haki and everything, he wasn't able to damage Kaido. So there was another level. Ryo, damaging from the inside. Luffy learned Ryo and was able to hurt Kaido from now on. Him being able to hurt Kaido from now on, you thought that, okay, that's all he needed. But guess what? There's more! So this entire time, Luffy was like, so it wasn't Ryo that you were really using. It was Conqueror's Haki. It's because of your Conqueror's Haki you were able to truly knock the crap out of me. And Conqueror's Haki is the reason why Luffy lost like 5 times to Kaido, by the way. That was that. And now we're in Elbaf. Well, first of all, we can go to Egghead. Egghead, Luffy was fighting the Gorosei and whatnot. The Gorosei are not immortal, confirmed by Scopper Gabon. It's confirmed by Scopper Gabon that the Gorosei, the Holy Knights, or anything like that, they're not immortal. You just got to be mindful of how you use your Conqueror's Haki. And the reason why I bring this up is it goes to show, what about other characters that has to fight people like the Holy Knights? Other characters that possibly don't have Conqueror's Haki. Like the Straw Hats. The Straw Hat Pirates. The only people that has Conqueror's Haki are Luffy and Zoro. Sanji doesn't have it. Jinbei doesn't have it either. And they're the other 2 strongest people. Robin literally trained with the Revolutionary Army. She was with Sabo and Dragon and whatnot. You would have thought she learned Haki. She has no forms of Haki, not even observation. Usopp had an Haki bloom, but he doesn't know. He doesn't use it anymore. He doesn't use observation Haki anymore. So it's just like, right now they're in Elbaf and they're gonna be fighting all these giants that got Domi reversied by Imu. What's gonna happen now though? Are we just gonna rely on Zoro, Gabon, Loki, and Luffy that has Conqueror's Haki to fight this giant army? Like, you know what I mean? But it goes to show that the reason why I made this video also was to let you know that although it's not confirmed, I don't believe Conqueror's Haki is the end all be all. I feel like Conqueror's Haki was made to fight people like Kaido and Big Mom. You don't need Conqueror's Haki in order to knock out someone like Shanks. No, you don't. But even in the midst, look at Kid and Law. Kid and Law were able to bypass Big Mom's durability, her endurance, or whatever the case may be, with just Devil Fruit power alone. Using their wits, learning the mastery of their Devil Fruits is the reason why they were able to beat her. But even in the midst with Kaido as well. Kaido, the reason why Kaido was able to get hurt by Killer, Sound Waves, by Kid, and yes, Kaido did get hurt by Kid. You can argue with Oda. He literally said, you guys had the ability to bypass my defense. He literally said it himself. So all those who want to argue Kid didn't really do anything in the rooftop, he really did. Stop it. And like, come on, bruh. You can't hate Kid that much to argue for agenda purposes against the author himself that wrote it. You know what I mean? He was able to bypass Kaido's defenses by using his weight of his dragon against him when he slammed him. Law was able to bypass, because the Opi Opi no Mi is literally like a surgical devil fruit. Zoro only had Ryo, honestly. He only had armament, advanced armament Haki, and he was able to bypass Kaido, able to scar him. Luffy only knew Ryo at that time, but he was able to defeat him too. But the thing is, guess what truly helped Luffy defeat Kaido? If Luffy did not have an awakening, if Luffy did not have Gear 5th, he would have not defeated Kaido at all. Kaido was a monster at that time. If it wasn't for Gear 5th, Luffy would have lost. So no, Conqueror's Haki is not the end all be all. If he didn't create that giant punch that was the same size as Onigashima and like literally punched him plus Conqueror's Haki, no. No, not at all. So I do not believe that Conqueror's Haki is the end all be all. you know. What I'm saying is, though, it's obvious that we're getting further more into the story. And getting further more into the story, it makes me think, is Conqueror's Haki gonna be a big issue, especially for the Straw Hat Pirates? What makes me think too is the fact that the Straw Hat Pirates, although Luffy is a Yonko, his Yonko crew is really like not Yonko-ish. It's only Luffy and Zoro. Sanji too, but realistically, Sanji is not really at the same level as those two. He's not, though. Yes, he has Ifrit, he has armament, he has the raid suit, his modified body. Yes, he has that stuff, but you know, and Oda needs to stop playing with Jinbei, man, making him look like an idiot. Like I know Jinbei's feats. I can name all Jinbei's feats. Like legit, like from the top of my head, I'm pretty sure I can name every single thing that Jinbei's done that's truly impressive. Like, I don't know why Oda playing with Jinbei on what he's doing right now with him. Like, seriously. But other than that, I don't like how Conqueror's Haki, well, Haki in general, I don't like how Haki in general is being depicted right now in the new world. Because if we look at the Big Mom fight, Big Mom versus Kid-in-Law, Kid-in-Law was able to defeat Big Mom without Haki at all. Just Devil Fruit and their awakening. But because they're such masters of their fruit, they didn't need Haki in order to win. Let me give you another example. Law, right? Law was asked by Kid, hey, can't you just switch them? Like, can't you just send one of them away? And then Law was like, I would, but their Haki is just so strong. You didn't hear Kid say, dang it, oh well, all right then, well, let's like, in the midst of this battle, let's try to get our Haki strong so you can be able. No, he didn't say that. He was like, all right, cool, I have a plan. And with his plan, he made a box defibrillator, electrical box. I don't know what it's called, box defibrillator, something like that. But he made a box, like this electrical box that like stores electricity. And guess what? He was able to store Zeus right in there. Devil Fruit alone, no Haki. It's not like because of Big Mom's soul being within that Devil Fruit, within that cloud, a soul being within that cloud, her soul specifically, that it was like, oh, my Haki will escape, help Zeus escape. No, that's not what happened. Zeus wasn't able to escape. You know what I mean? It's not like she used Haki in order to help Zeus escape. It's not like she used Haki in order to stop the everyone from doing everything else. That's not what happened. So I don't believe Haki is the end all be all. What I am saying though is it is important to have Haki. You know, I feel as if, like, for example, if Kid wanted to fight Shanks, he needs to have Conqueror's Haki in order to fight against him. But in order to, like, let's say, harm Shanks, he doesn't need to harm Shanks. But since Shanks has Conqueror's Haki, he needs something to match that esque power. If Kid would have hit Shanks with Damned Punk, his railgun, he would have harmed Shanks. That's not crazy to say. He legit would have harmed Shanks. You know what I mean? For example, people like Whitebeard. Whitebeard died by a gun. Whitebeard got his face melted off by Devil Fruit. It's not like he's a crazy strong person. I mean, he has crazy durability or endurance like Kaido or Big Mom. No, that's not what it is. You get what I mean? What I'm saying is, how does this look for like the rest of the people, like the Straw Hats or everyone else? So it's Luffy, Zoro, Scopper Gabon, and Loki with Conquerors Haki. That's gonna fight against Emu and them. Everyone got Dormi reversied. And you know what I mean? So it's like, what about the rest of the Straw Hats? That's gonna help. So they're just gonna stand there at the sideline like cheerleaders cheering everyone else, those four on. What are they gonna do in the midst of that battle? You know, like Gabon literally said, make a mental note of how you use your color of the Supreme King. They are not immortal. It's not like he said, make sure, make note how you use your Haki. It's like armament Haki, you know, no, he said Supreme King. Make sure you make a mental note on how you use your Conqueror's Haki. So it's like, wait a minute. So is it like, is it just Conqueror's Haki that's gonna be needed to defeat Emu in them? The final war and all that other stuff? Like, well, forget the final war. Right now, the Straw Hats and everyone else. Sanji's going up there with Zoro right now. Zoro's the only one that has Conqueror's Haki. So is anyone not gonna mention how Sanji, like, is no one gonna mention that Sanji doesn't have Conquerors? How is Sanji gonna be able to harm them? Or will Sanji have the ability, is like, it's not just Conquerors, you just gotta learn how to use your Haki in general. And still, in the midst of it, he just says make a mental note. Is it like you using your Conquerors negating their will to regenerate, stopping the will to regenerate? Like hitting him with the lightning of the Conquerors, the impact on how they regenerate or whatnot, you know what I mean? It just goes to show, like, has Oda made Haki too important? But then again, it's like, if it's really that important, he would have helped the Straw Hats too learn Haki. Every single one of the Straw Hats should know Haki then. It's a Yonko crew, but only the second strongest fighter, along with the captain of the Yonko crew, have Conqueror's Haki. And then you got Jinbei and Sanji that has armament Haki. But I don't know. I just feel as if like Oda like makes Haki too important. He didn't really make like a way for like his other people. It's like he forgets about the Straw Hats too. It's like he forgot about the Straw Hats in a way. So I personally don't believe Conqueror's Haki is the end all be all. I don't think Haki in general is the end all be all. I feel as if you should know Haki, armament Haki and stuff like that. But it's just more so like when you're going to face against strong characters, and the Straw Hat crew is supposed to be a Yonko crew, and then it's like, you know, but who knows? Oda could be showing, could like blindside us and be like, hey, yeah, actually, you don't only need Conqueror's Haki in order to defeat this crew. You know what I mean? Because there were ways, like for example, Usopp versus Luffy. When Usopp fought Luffy that one time, Luffy didn't know. I mean, Usopp didn't have no Haki or anything, but he was able to use impact dials and strategy and whatnot to harm Luffy in ways. You know, not everything is about Haki and all that stuff. But that was pre-time skip, of course. Even Rob Lucci using Rokushiki techniques and whatnot. Stuff like that. So Haki isn't the end all be all. It's just more so like, I'm just really worried about the Straw Hats or even other characters in the series that gotta fight these strong people. It just, Elbaf right now, it just makes me think, what is he gonna do with the other Straw Hats? What is he gonna do? Thank goodness that Chopper was smart enough to be like, Chopper was the only person who was like, oh my gosh, what was that he just used? I have to learn what he used. You get what I'm saying? Like, he was like, I gotta learn what he used. And that was really a W by Chopper. So does that mean like Chopper made stay down there with Gabon, watching over him, and like Gabon's like, hey, I can teach you Haki a little bit. You know? I mean, Chopper could be a very big help since he could turn into his like giant point. I forgot. I think it's called giant point or his monster point. Yeah, Chopper can turn to his monster point. Imagine Gabon teach him a little bit of Haki just to like help him. Even gives him the same note that Haki blooms at the heat of a battle. He teaches him a little bit of Haki, and he's able to fight against everyone that got Domi reversied. You know, it just makes me think like, is Conquerors Haki the end all be all Haki in general? Because there's ways that enemies have been defeated within the series that we didn't have Haki, or there's ways to like fight against people when you didn't have Haki and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like even Nami was able to like, although it was by the help of Big Mom by a little bit, even Nami was able to like, you know, harm Ulti, and it wasn't Haki. Even though Ulti like has a dinosaur devil fruit, so it's just like, but it wasn't Haki. It legit wasn't like Haki. She used Zeus. She was able to harm Ulti with lightning and stuff like that. So, but imagine if Nami like bloomed observation Haki in order to track Ulti's quickness in that battle. She could have defeated Ulti. That's not crazy to say. I could argue that she possibly would have defeated Ulti. You know, but that's just me. I mean, that's the end of the video, guys. That's my little rant on how Haki has really been seen and the importance of it. I'm not saying Haki isn't important, but is it the end all be all? You get what I'm saying? Like, comment, subscribe, guys. Let me know what you think. Go in the comments down below. I really appreciate you guys watching the videos and stuff like that. I love the support. Thank you, guys. I've gained like 3 subscribers from those 3 videos alone, by 3 recent videos. I really appreciate that. Trust me, every subscribe counts. Okay, so you guys take care. It's your boy Eustace, and I'm out.